guys, welcome to For the Future Fridays. I'm Jantrice Johnson with the Smothering Pros, and for this episode we're going to be discussing how it works. So I'm going to give you practical steps to how you can create a monthly budget and how you can set your own goals to owning your own home. So let's jump right into this. What should your monthly budget look like? Now, asking yourself where is your money going is how much do you bring in a month? What's the bare minimum that you bring in? Putting that on paper. Every dollar that comes out needs to have a place, whether or not it's with your rent, with your food or car, or with your extra things. Every dollar needs to have a place. Now, one of the easiest things I know for young people is to take your money for the month and say, hey, I paid rent, I paid my car note, I paid for food, now I have all this extra money. No, we're going to look at the 50-30-20 budget rule. Now, with what you bring in a month, 50% of that needs to go towards the things that you need. Now, I've already had a debate with someone on what those needs should look like. Is transportation a need? Is the type of food that you eat a need? How much you pay in rent? We're gonna look into those things. So 50% goes towards those things of what you need. Now that category, y'all, it gets a little bleak, okay? 30% goes towards things that you want. Now some of the things you all are gonna have to switch. Some of the things that you guys want, you all have them in the need category and they don't need to go there. So 50% of your budget needs to go towards what you need, 30% going towards what you want, and 20% needs to go towards saving. Hey guys, so we had to leave headquarters because I want to talk more about this budgeting principle. So we're here with Eric Meriwhether so he can talk to us more about budgeting. Hey Eric, thank you so much for doing this for me.
Yeah. My pleasure, my pleasure.
So we are here with Eric Meriwhether because he has some tips for you guys on how to save and budget. So introduce yourself and then I'm gonna let you have it.
Yeah, absolutely. Eric Meriwhether. I am a financial advisor. Been in the financial industry for roughly 15 years. Live right here in Murfreesboro, and really have a passion and heart for helping young adults, older adults, and planning financially for the future.
So you have some tips for us today.
Yeah.
Give us the first couple of ones. Let's talk about those. Absolutely.
Sounds good. I'm for one, thank you for the opportunity. Really excited to share. So I have 7 tips to share with everyone just regarding budgeting. So tip number 1, I always say when it comes to money and finances, first is mindset. And so as it relates to the mindset, it's not necessarily about how much money you make, it's about what you do with what you make. And more so how much of what you make you keep and what you're doing with that.
So we're not talking about a specific number.
No,
we're just talking about how much you're bringing to the table.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. So tip number 2, and it's a quote by a guy named Bill Earl. It's one of my favorite quotes. It is, if your outgo exceeds your income, then your upkeep will be your downfall.
Okay.
Got that?
So say that one more time for everyone to hear. It was good. Say it one more time so we got it.
So if your outgo exceeds your income, then your upkeep will be your downfall. And that's simply saying living within your means. Live within your means.
Did everybody get that? I got it.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to change some things that I do based on my income.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Tip number 3. What do you have for us?
Tip number 3. So tip number 3. So once we have the proper mindset, we have to define and understand what a budget is, right? And sometimes budget can have a negative connotation. Some people will use spending plan, financial plan. But what that essentially is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Right?
Okay.
So budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. So along with that tip, what I always advise and recommend to clients is look at your last 3 months worth of bank statements and track your spending, every single dollar, and you'd be surprised at where and how you're spending money, right? But we've got to know what we're working with to know what we need to do going forward.
I'm very surprised of how much money I spend on the little things that add up.
Yeah, they
Starbucks, food, lunch, dinner. And at the end of those months, those things, so you're right, those things can add up. So actually taking a look at what you're Okay.
Yeah. Take a
All
look.
right.
It can be tough, especially when you first do it if you haven't done it before, but it's necessary. It's kind of almost like looking at a credit report. You know, if your credit's not too good, it's like I don't really want to look at it, but it's necessary.
Okay.
Gotta know where we stand.
Okay. All right. Tip number 4. What do we have?
Yeah. So tip number 4 is to commit. We simply have to commit and make the conscious decision that we're going to set a plan in place and commit to it, right? It's the discipline aspect. All right, so that's the 4th tip. All right, gotta decide that we're gonna commit.
All right, tip number.
All right, tip number 5 is write it down. Write the vision, make it plain, right? And you can even say sometimes things aren't real or official until you put it on paper, right? So write your budget down, put it on paper. Right, so we gotta, and what I do is I typically provide a budget sheet, and it's a number of resources out there. But once you tally up, because what you're doing with the 3 months worth of expenses is we're trying to get an average in every single category and see how much we're actually spending.
Okay, so writing it down makes it real.
It makes it real.
Plain and simple of what your goal is for that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Tip number 6 is utilize the resources that you have available to you, right? So I know when me and my wife first started out and we did the 3 months worth of expenses, we got everything written down. We used an Excel spreadsheet. And I have a lot of clients, and that's more, I guess, a little bit more on the advanced level. Like if you have a specific way that you like doing things or good with Excel, using an Excel spreadsheet. It's a lot of apps out there on your phone, like Numbers. If you have an iPhone, they have an actual budget app there, right? So utilize the tools and resources that are available to you would be the next step.
So to make sure that you keep your budget. Everyone has cell phones.
Yeah.
You have this Word document, Excel. Put it on there so it's something that's in front of you at all times, right? Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely. So we're at number 7. So number 7 is having accountability, right? You got to have accountability to that budget. And another thing, whether that's a financial advisor that you're working with, financial counselor, a friend that you're close with that you don't mind sharing that personal info with, a spouse, but you've got to have that accountability, almost like having a personal trainer, someone that can hold you accountable to the goal that you have.
So before you spend money, that partner needs to say, is this going to fit within your budget?
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Thank you, E, for everything. He is actually our person that has helped us in saving for the future. Thank you guys for tuning in for this episode of For the Future Fridays.